Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell.
Yo, be a father. If not, why bother, son? A boy can make them, but a man can raise one. Be a father to your child. Be a father to your child.
Welcome to another one.
Welcome back.
Yo, you know what? I'm gonna start making these hand gestures. That means that we're talking over each other. So because it keeps cutting off when you hear the recorded version. And I'm sure there's people acting like we're a bunch of idiots for doing that.
Oh, should we start again?
No.
Okay.
No.
What's up, fellas?
What's good?
Good weekend?
Weekend was chill.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Nah, not for me. I got 2 kids with fevers. My daughter had a basketball tournament all weekend, and it was a lot of hustle and bustle.
Yeah. So I was actually thinking about that whole, when weekends used to be relaxing, and now it's like it's just nonstop. I mean, I've only got one kid, so I can only imagine what it's like with multiples. But I was just like, damn, man, between doing whatever, basketball, soccer, karate, play dates, this, that, it's like I feel exhausted by the time the work week starts.
It's nuts. I mean, E, you haven't really felt any of that.
I mean, no, in a sense I have, because what I was going to say is that the post-drink champs hangover day off that I would usually be able to take and relax, yeah, that's not popping, and that's not fun. It's like having real hangovers now. 'Cause I gotta deal with shit.
Yeah.
So that
literally.
Yeah, and literally and figuratively. I do have an announcement to make. It's not really an announcement, kind of an announcement. I am leaning now towards wanting a second kid.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Whoa. Big news.
What influenced that?
I mean, I've been back and forth about it, and then
Your girl finally convinced you. She convinced you.
My girl?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't her.
Oh.
And it wasn't really even this person, but my grandma, unfortunately, she's been in the hospital, and she just got transferred to a rehabilitation type home place. And I went to go visit her there for the first time, and she had like this Cuban lady that was taking care of her. That's just been here like 3 years. Very like homely type nurse lady that was really hands-on and very talkative. And then she, asking questions about me. Oh, this is your grandson, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then I had the baby too. She, I see the baby. Is that your only one? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's it? You're only one? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you're going to have more, right? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, you need to think about the baby. You need to think about the future. You need to have another one. and she didn't necessarily influence me, but then I got to thinking of what she meant by that, and why I even before have thought that I at least want 2. And I started to think about how my girl and I's families are kind of small. Her parents are no longer here, both of her parents. Her grandma's very old, and I was just like, man, like my daughter's gonna potentially, be alone. Very lonely or alone, like God forbid something happens to one of us. So I don't know. I just thought that it'd be kind of selfish to not bring in a sibling for them to have each other in life.
That's assuming they end up liking each other.
Right. I think parenting can help to a degree with that, to build that family bond, or we end up having a family blonde. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That's I'm obviously, until it happens, it doesn't happen. But I'm leaning towards it now. Like, yeah, maybe that should happen.
That's dope. Look at you, man, growing up before our eyes.
Proud of you, E.
No, you probably feel bad for me. I feel bad for you, E.
I mean, you're right. Like there's a lot of I didn't realize. I mean, I knew from your end it's a small family. I didn't realize from your lady's end as well. She doesn't have siblings?
No, she's only child. I'm an only child. I'm not gonna lie, I've always, and I think I've said it on here, I've always envied people with brothers and sisters, because I just felt like you never really feel alone.
Yeah.
In that situation, even if you're not close to your siblings, it's kind of like you just know if God forbid something were to happen, that person's gonna come in to a degree to your aid, because they're your blood family. You would think. I think 9 out of 10 times it would happen.
Yeah.
So unless they just absolutely hate each other. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at my daughter, and I'm looking at this sweet little baby girl, and I'm just like, man, I don't want you to be alone, Like, and it sucks because we're not bringing along a big family to do, for you to have like these people around you to help you. And I'm just thinking, yeah, what if something happens to me?
I mean, the way I see, actually all 3 of my kids interact with each other. I mean, the 11-year-old you would think is kind of aging out of hanging out with the 2 younger ones. But I got to give it to her. She's in a situation where she can morph into a kid of similar age when needed, and enjoy it, genuinely enjoy it, and then also live her preteen life like a normal preteen with all its joys and pains. And it's beautiful to see, especially when all 3 of them are like in sync, like they're just messing around doing like imaginary stuff. Like they'll get together, and then they'll pretend like they've packed their luggage, and then they're going on a trip, and they're going to like another country, and so they go under the dining table, and that's like their new world. So they'll be like, "Oh, we're going to Egypt." I'm like, "What do you know about Egypt?" "Oh, the mummies and blah blah." And then my 2-year-old comes like, "We saw mummies in Egypt." And then like their imaginations like sync up, and they go crazy. Yeah, it's pretty dope. So I highly encourage. I'm a bit, like I said, I'm super pro more kids. If you got 4, get 5. If you got 5, go for 10.
Yeah, but see, at that point, I think what you're saying, if you have 4, have 5, you have 5. At that point, that's I don't know. That's a little careless to the environment at that point. Global warming, population expansion. Like, come on, bro. And then your law of averages of something going wrong with one of them. Oh my god.
I think I'm probably leaning towards a dog at some point.
It's not easy. Like right now, don't you know? I'm recording, nugget.
So we're not gonna sway you. Okay.
Nah, we could sway. I mean, Kay's not gonna be swayed.
No, I'm good. Like I said, if the universe all of a sudden decided that was in the cards, then
bro, but the way you're talking is like a stork really flies in and drops a oh, the universe brought me this guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so the flip side, like I said, this weekend was tough. When they all are in sync in the negative, bruh.
Yeah.
Like and it's likely to happen. And it's not just like kid to kid. It's like kid to kid to kid to parents. And then we all got some shit going on. So that's when it really becomes tough. But luckily for us, it's 2 parents, and then we are able to like bob and weave together and make shit happen. So my daughter had 4 games this weekend. And the championship game was yesterday, and so we had a baby, my goddaughter's birthday, and my kids were sick, so we're gonna bail out of everything. But they woke up in a way where they can be active. So we went to the party.
Got everyone else sick?
No, because we were actually like, if they have a fever, there's no way we're gonna go and get everybody sick. So they woke up, no fever, they were fine. So we got up. My daughter had an 8 a.m. game. So I get up, go take it to that 8 in the morning game, get out of there, rush home, take a shower, go to the party at 1 o'clock, leave that early, go to her championship game, my wife and I, leave our kids at the party, well, one of them at the party with my mom. And it's like this whole like back and forth. It's not like the games are 10 minutes away and it's not convenient. So we're traveling distances to make all this stuff happen. And at the end of the day, she wins the championship, and the party was a success, and we ended up having a good day. But like we all went to sleep at like 8:30 last night because it was rough. So yeah,
I'll survive.
So have more kids.
Yeah.
Imagine my luck, it's twins or something. Nah, if it happens, it's one more, man.
Okay.
Well, let's see. So we actually have a guest today, Cipha Sounds, DJ, producer, and now comedian as well. And he just had a second one, so this is actually a good conversation to bring him into. So let's go ahead and bring him in. What up, Cipha?
Come on, Cipha. You gotta say nice to be here. What's popping, people?
Yeah, it's very nice to be here. Thanks for having me, man. I didn't have a dad, so this is fun.
All right. So we're going to get into that in a second. So actually, we were just talking about multiples. So our last episode, Manny's got 3 kids. E and I have 1 each. And then E just had an epiphany this week that he might be going for that second one. And so you just had your second. So wanted to get your take on on multiples and how you came to that decision.
Well, the decision was not mine whatsoever, but definitely the wife's decision. But yeah, it's a game changer. It's good and bad. First of all, I heard the trick is to not get outnumbered.
Yeah.
So you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I heard if I don't know sports references, but someone told me like man on man zone or something like that.
That's it. You got it.
Yeah. So once you're outnumbered, they run around. But 2's not bad. Like the only thing I noticed is that I had no idea what I was doing the first time, so I was like super stressed and like didn't know. Like I literally knew nothing, like how to even keep this thing alive. And now the second one, it's way easier. It's just like, man, they cry, they bang their head, it's fine. Like they, the human body can handle these things. That's what it's made for,
Right.
And what's the age difference? Is your daughter she's 2 or 3?
3. My daughter's 3.5, and then the kid is. They were like she was 3 when he was born. He's 6 months now.
Okay.
Wow.
So so it's literally like they almost like their birthdays are like a week apart.
Damn. Nice.
Yeah.
So are you sleeping? Like how's your schedule?
Well, that's the funny thing about the second one. Like he was born in April, and I literally went on tour in May, and I was so I was popping in and out. So the missus was handling all of it, and she is not she's not happy. She's definitely sleep deprived. This kid is not sleeping the way the first one seemed like it was a lot easier for her. This kid stays awake a lot. But I don't know. I live nightlife, so it doesn't bother me as much. Even when I'm home with the kid, like it's like I think guys who do what we do, DJ or like up at night or entertainers, like it's a little different because we don't have like that 9 to 5 mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but my wife is not happy. Not happy at all.
Is your daughter at the point now where she knows when you're gone, when you're out on trips and everything, and is she bugging out over that, or how's she take that?
She knows, but it's not that bad because when I'm not home, they usually go to my wife's parents' house, which is like a little bit upstate New York. So they're like she's with the grandparents, so she's getting spoiled left and right. So when I'm not around, they go there, so she has a lot more help.
But that's that's like clockwork. Every time you're out of town, that's the plan.
Almost, out of town, and then also on weekends. Well, because my wife's not working; she doesn't go back to work till next week or something. So she was off for like 6 months. So that's gonna change once it happens now, but. They go up there on the weekends anyway. So, and also FaceTime is a game changer, yo.
That's like, Static Selector was on the show, and that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
I mean, what would people do? Like, you wouldn't see your kids for months if you didn't have FaceTime,
Yeah.
Maybe talk on the phone, but that's it. So and then, like, I try to bring my daughter to things. Like, I brought my daughter on stage at Madison Square Garden before.
Wow.
So she knows, like, when I say Daddy's going to do a show, she kind of gets it a little more. Or she'll come to the comedy clubs with me sometimes, and I'll bring her on stage, and like everyone goes crazy, like, oh, she's so cute, or like I'll bring her to like if I'm doing anything in like at the daytime, I'll bring her so when I'm going to do a show, she has like some kind of point of reference.
That's smart.
Yeah.
What about content wise for music? Have you? I mean, she probably can't understand a ton of stuff yet, but have you been letting her hear music? And are you leery of the content that's out there these days?
No, I'm probably bad at that. I don't believe in like censoring. And I like my number one rule is I don't lie to my kids. I don't lie to them. And like it's so easy to tell a lie, like to get out of them doing something, and I have to catch myself. So I'll say stuff like, well, you're not ready to understand what that means, or I'm not going to tell you what that means just yet. You got to wait till you get older, but I don't lie.
So do they listen to explicit lyrics in front of you and like sing along? Or not they, I guess your eldest.
Yeah, it's older, yeah. She doesn't really sing. I mean, I'm not playing fucking...
Yeah, I'm sure you're not going out of your way to play like fuck the police and shit.
NWA, yeah. But also, I won't censor. Like, I'm not going to watch like R-rated movies in front of her, but I definitely watch Family Guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like my wife gets upset. She's like, I don't want her watching. I'm like, it's on network television. Like, nothing that crazy's happening. And also, so what if it does? Like, she's got to, I want them to be knowing what things are, not like hide them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't know if I'm too bohemian or whatever, but
where that aspect of the, this, that you're not going to lie to your kids, where did that stem from? I don't really hear that often from a lot of people.
I don't know. Like, I really like, well, first of all, in my younger days when I became a 5%er, like when you become a 5%er, and I don't know if everyone has to Google what that is, but you start breaking down what everything is. So I don't celebrate holidays since I was like 17 years old. So there's no Christmas, no Halloween, no Thanksgiving, none of that stuff. And like I feel like my mom, and not in a bad way, but like all of this stuff was just lies. Like she told me all these lies, and I resented her for it. I was like, why did you have to lie to me? Like there's no such thing as Santa Claus. Sorry, kids. So I just never got the point of why.
You just ruined our younger demographic.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
All three of them.
So like I was just like, I don't know. I don't want to. I know another thing is like when I have no idea how this is gonna work out because I don't have a teenage kid yet. But like I don't want I feel you get mad at your kids when they lie to you, but then you the one who taught them how to lie.
Right.
Facts.
So why? So you can't scold your kids for lying to you, and then they go back and start tracing all the lies you told them.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to not to say they're still not gonna lie, but I'm just saying that's not how we operate in this house, and I can back it up.
Leading by example.
And is your wife on board, like with the no holidays and everything? Is your wife on board with that, or how does that work?
No, she celebrates.
Okay.
She celebrates. Like it's not like there'll be no holiday. Like they still go to her parents' house and celebrate Christmas, but like we had to argue about baptizing my kids, and I was like, I don't want to baptize them because I don't want to force any religions on them. If they come to an age where they want to be Catholic or Christian, they want to get baptized, then we can do it then if that's what they want, And like that was a kind of a tough pill for my wife to swallow, but like my wife's parents were like, "What's happening right now?"
Yeah, I'm dealing with that too right now. The same thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I don't. Yeah, like for my wife, my wife still does all that stuff, and it's like, if my daughter asks me why I don't celebrate, I'll just explain, like, well, I'm not a Christian, and that's a Christian holiday, or I don't believe in Halloween because that's it's just a made up I mean, don't get me started on like the corporate holidays, like Valentine's Day. Like, there's none of that. The religious ones I get, I'm just not religious. But I don't get mad if you are and you want to go celebrate. But Valentine's Day, like, no, there's none of that.
Yeah, the whole month.
Shut down Valentine's Day.
But I'm very big on birthdays, anniversaries, like significant celebrations, like things that happen at a certain time. Like, so I'm super into that.
Where
that's real. I can.
Sorry to cut you off. Where was your head, say, 4 years ago, before you had any kids? Like, did you realize at some point before that you were going to have kids, or did your first just happen to come about, and then you had to adapt?
I mean, I always wanted kids, but I never felt ready, and I was fighting it and holding off for a long time. But I always had like these concepts and philosophies I'm telling you now, I always had them. So I was like, when I have kids, I won't lie to them. Well, I'll do this, I'll do that. But I was super nervous, and like, I don't know, it's different for guys. We don't have the body stuff, the biological clock. So it's like, I had to hear her side of it, and understand.
So it came about, was it a planned pregnancy?
Yes.
Okay.
Both. I mean, planned pregnancy mean like, okay, we're gonna start trying now.
Yeah.
It was like it was both of them. Both of them were like, okay, I want to try, and then the second one was like, I want to try again. And this might be too personal, but both of them happened the first time we tried.
Nice.
Shata.
Yeah. Yeah, so how I don't have any other kids out there.
Aren't you half Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
that's the Puerto Rican side of you, brother.
No, I'm full Puerto Rican. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
So you started off when you jumped on here saying about that you didn't have a dad. I'm familiar with the story, but I'm curious to, if you could just let folks know about that. And I'm also wondering like how that, just growing up without a dad, did that have any effect on you as like how you are as a father?
Yeah, of course. That's one of the reasons why also I didn't want to have. Well, not that I didn't want to have kids, but I was nervous and felt like I wasn't ready. Is because I didn't have a dad growing up, and I watched a lot of Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil always says your biggest role model is your same-sex parent, and I didn't have that. So it was really tough to think about that. But honestly, man, like, you figure it out, You figure it out, like, so this one comedian, a friend of mine, gave me some advice. He was like, yeah, just feed it and keep it alive, Like, the rest is going to come. Like, the rest is going to come. And I have strong philosophies and things that I live my life by, so I just try to use that to guide me. But, like, what really I struggle with is, like, these dads that leave or aren't in their kids' lives. Like, I don't understand that, I mean, I didn't understand it before, like logically, but now emotionally, like right. How could you not, like, if you don't get along with the mom, that's different, but how could you not be around the kid? Like, it's a piece of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a piece of you. It's crazy.
And your dad passed away, right, when you were a kid?
Yeah,
when you were young?
When I was 3. So, like, it's super weird to have a 3-year-old now. It's like anything past it. And I don't know if I told you this, like, my ex-girlfriend years ago had a son. So I met her when he was 1.5 years, and I basically raised him. And it's nowhere near the same. Nowhere near the same thing.
How old were you? How old was her son when you came into? You said 1?
1.5, yeah.
And when were you in the picture?
Still had diapers.
From what years were you in the picture there? From 1 to what?
Yeah, from 1 to 1 to 9.
Damn. Okay.
He was about 9, but then she but it's a long story. But basically, I have a house that I own in Jersey, and she basically lived in that house almost rent free for another 6 years. So like, the kid until he was like 15 until they moved out of the house.
Wow.
Like,
so
yeah,
you don't have a relationship with that kid anymore?
Yeah, I do. It's cool. He's like, it's weird. He texts me now. He's in college.
Does he call you dad?
Or homie?
Because his dad was around. No, his dad was around.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that does.
His dad, yeah, his dad, like, well, his dad was, I mean, whatever. He was cool. He's a good dad. He wasn't like, I don't think he was a good boyfriend, but he was a good dad. And like, he was around, so like, he never felt like I was his father, even though he definitely gives me credit and thanks me for like shit in his life, and like I got him into music and all this stuff. But it's nothing. And I love that kid, and it's nowhere near the same feeling as having your own kid.
Yeah, were you at the birth? I hate when I say that because usually the answer is yes, but like at the the moment of truth, receiving the child.
Yeah.
I think,
but I didn't look at any of that. I can't look at that. Yeah, I was way up top.
I was gonna say I think that moment is what separates kind of what you've experienced with not your child versus your child. Because when you see that shit is just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But you know what's weird? I don't know if you guys had the same. Like, I didn't feel anything the first couple of months.
Yeah,
I
could relate.
Yeah, like, am I a sociopath? Like, what's up? Like, and then I realized it's like all the stress and confusion and trying to figure it out. And then after a while, I can remember when I started getting those feelings, and I was like, oh no, this just happens. Like, you might not feel it right away, but now, like, it's
also like they're a ball of mush for the first couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
And if you're almost not human at first.
Yeah, and you're paranoid. You don't really know what's going on, and it's like
I just got this alien baby. What do I do?
Right.
Yeah.
Moms are gonna kill us if they hear this shit.
Oh no, I'm already.
Did you have any other like male father-like figures? So when your dad passed, was there anyone else to fill that void, or was it?
I mean, kind of, but nothing good. I have a sister. She has a different father. He was around for a while, but he was like a player. And then my mom got married again when I was in high school, but he was a dick.
Yeah.
And also, like, I was like, I don't know. I was a product of a very young mother growing up in the Bronx. Like, I raised myself, not to take credit away from her. My mom raised me. She was a good mom. But I'm just saying, like, I was way older, mature level than I should have been. Mm. It's like, so like when he came into the picture, it's like I didn't need a dad. I was already 15 years old. I had it. I pretty much figured out.
Yeah. It's like,
and I left home because of him. Yeah, I left home because of him when I was 17. Mm. So, like, I didn't really, But here's the crazy thing. I started going to therapy maybe, what year is it? So maybe about 6 years ago. And the therapist was saying a lot of my issues, she thinks, had to do with not having a dad. Hmm. And when you hear that, it sounds like, those issues are for guys who have dads that walked out on them.
Right.
And I was like, my dad didn't walk out on me. He died. So I think it's a different mentality, because I felt like I dealt with it because it's like I don't feel like abandoned.
Right.
He passed away. He didn't walk out, and that was a wrong way of thinking because she kept saying it for years. I saw her for like 3 years, and she kept saying it. It's like I think it might have a little bit to do with not having a father. I was like, I don't think so. I really don't think so. What about this? What about that? I was like, I dealt with it. He didn't leave me. He passed away. And then one day she goes, let me ask you a question. Who taught you how to shake someone's hand? And I mean, I just started crying and all these emotions hit me. Because it's not about learning how to shake a hand. It's like everything your dad would teach you.
All right.
I didn't have it.
Like tying
You know what I'm saying? But like,
your tie and shit like that.
yeah, and you're gonna figure out how to shake a hand because that's just the society we live in. It's the way you greet people. But I didn't realize a dad walks you like I know how to use a screwdriver, but because I figured it out, not because my dad was like, "Hey, here, come play with me in the garage. Here's how you use a screwdriver." And it just hit me like, holy shit! Like I can't believe I didn't think about that angle. All the things a dad must. And then I started asking all my friends, like, "Did your dad teach you how to do this and do that?" And they're like, yeah, actually, like it's just common to them. And I never had that.
Yeah, shit you take for granted that you wouldn't think of.
Yeah, and then another thing is my mom didn't have a dad. My mom's dad left her. So this is 2 generations of no male influence, you know?
Wow.
It's compounded.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then that changed everything.
Kudos to you, man, for even
thank you.
being man enough to like do that, because I know a lot of us we look at therapy like it's not necessary.
Oh yeah. Oh, I used to be like that. It's a waste of years thinking that shit about therapy, yo. It is amazing. I mean, you know what? It doesn't work for everybody, but for me, it changed everything.
So isn't it tough to find a good therapist though? Like to find someone you actually can connect with?
Yeah, I got lucky. My therapist is amazing. And I also, like, she used to give me a lot of free sessions because I sent so many people to her, like, even like celebrities. She became like...
She's giving you credit.
Like, she gave me like, she's like, you know what? This month is free.
I was just about to ask for a referral, but now it just sounds like the price just shot up.
Yo, no, I became an advocate for it. Like it's like a thing I like to promote, like mental health, because like you could go through all the different problems in life, but all of it starts in your brain.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All of it starts in your brain.
So then for us as men, we're taught to like, you have to deal with it on your own. Like, be a man. Type of shit, you know. And then I wonder
because I didn't have that. I wonder if that was made it easier for me to accept the therapy. Right. You know, like maybe that's a tough part where it's like, no, you can't cry. You got to be a man. Like, I get it, but I never had that like instilled in me.
So you're saying
I guess the dads are always made out to be the assholes, like that kind of thing.
I mean, in my case, I am. So that shit rings true.
You tell your son that, Manny?
All the time. I'm like, yo, your dad's the asshole number 1. Don't ever forget
it. Yeah, but like, how do you teach? Like, how old are your kids?
But I got an 11-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old son, and a 2-year-old daughter.
And you think you raise the boy differently than the girls?
Most definitely. Yeah.
And you teach you teach him more tough stuff than you would the girl? Not
necessarily. See, the evolution of their brains is different, and so I have to manage them differently. Not that I'm necessarily teaching differently, but it ends up working itself that way because he challenges me in a different way. So I gotta get my Bronx street shit on heavier with him than with my daughters.
What kind of challenge? I mean, is he going more? Is it more like a physical challenge, or is it more just?
Nah, it's just he's very. I mean, we live in fucking Rockland County. So, like, there's no real sense of, like, street smarts. He's 5, mind you, but this motherfucker got some street smarts. Like, he knows how to navigate conversations and, like, test you and hold you accountable. And So, like, you got to really come at him correct. And like you were saying, Cipha, like, honesty is a big part of that. Because if I even attempt to bullshit him, he won't forget, and then he'll call me out.
Right.
So I can't even play that game.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna teach that stuff. Like the stuff I learned. I mean, listen, I'm not no thug or gangster, but the stuff I learned on the streets, I feel helped me be who I am. And now, like, I feel like that's a big part of it. I always worry about. Like, you ever seen the video of Big Pun waking up his kids at like 2 a.m. and making them fight?
Yeah.
You never seen that?
Yeah.
Like,
was that in that documentary? Was it the one?
Yeah, I think it's in a documentary. He wakes up his daughter and his son, and he gives them boxing gloves, and he makes them box, and he's really making the girl fight the boy. You know, like
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit. So the music world, Cipha, your kids, how do you feel about them entering? Well, actually, entertainment in general, because you're a multifaceted individual at this point. What do you think about them exploring in those areas?
I don't know, man. It's like you're asking that question because we're in the music business and we know all the bad parts of it and the scary parts, and like I think, you know, everything probably has that, maybe not as much, maybe ours is a higher level. There's also a lot of tragedy around our thing because the access to like drugs and whatever else is around, all the
excess
vices.
of any kind.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like as many cases as you could point to of people who have spazzed out and wild out. There's also a lot that are like very on point, and I would hope that I could be on that side of it, you know.
So you're not gonna have really a say. You're kind of gonna let them navigate the world and then use you as leverage when they can.
Yeah, and also like I'm gonna teach the like the other side of it. Like if you decide to go into music, if she turns out to be an amazing singer or musician or actress, whatever it is, you know, make sure you also teach that business side, you know, and like obviously get a great team, get a great manager, agent, lawyer, accountant, but like know how to check up on them and don't just leave your life in their hands, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of hardship too, but I also live like a great life. I don't get involved with any of that crazy stuff, so it's just what I like to do, you know.
When you had that, going back real quick to with your therapist, when you had that breakthrough, did that put any kind of extra battery in your back to like want to show out and be a great dad, or was it just more of an internal reflection?
Yeah, no, I definitely did, and also, but that's weird to say a great dad because.
Well, I mean, to try to be the best you can is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, yeah, like I don't need a number one dad mug. I just want to be like a great person overall, you know, and like. I don't know. I feel I've been hearing a lot of different schools of thought about being friends with your kids. And when does that stop? You know, right now I feel like my daughter's my best friend. She's the one I talk to the most and love hanging out with. But like, you know, when they get to that age, like you got to put your foot down, you know?
Yeah.
Do you talk to your daughter and tell her like you're my best friend? Do you actually say those words?
I'm careful with that. I say it like I want to, but I even as a joke, but I'm careful about saying that.
Yeah.
Because it's like I gotta be the authority at some part.
Do you tend to be
friend yelling at them?
That's a tough line.
Do you tend to be the disciplinarian in the household, or is that more your lady?
No, more my wife.
Okay.
But I mean,
does she like that role?
Down, no, but now she's seeing. See, here's the thing: she's seeing a lot of stuff in her, like of acting like her dad, which she doesn't like some of it, and it like she never felt this way before until she had kids, and then she's like, "Why am I doing this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't have a dad. Like, this is all uncharted territory to me." But like, she'll get like super angry, or like she got angry today about something like it turns in okay, whatever. These are little kids, they're playing little games, and my daughter wants to pour water from her little sippy cup into a regular glass, and my wife's like, no, don't do that, you'll spill it. And then it becomes an argument, and I'm like, and then it's not about the water, it's about winning the argument,
right?
You know. And I'm like, let her pour the water in the cup. If it's only water. If it spills, we'll just clean it up. And she's like, I know. I don't know why I'm getting so mad. It's because she's defying you, and you're like trying to like dig your heels in. And I'm like, this is not the time. this can't be the time, you know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Bigger battles to have.
Yo, Siph, you good, bro? Because I could understand your wife's situation, and you want to be, because you're the parent, so you think you have to be the authority all the time. But but you're absolutely right. Like, let that shit ride. It's not a big deal.
But like all the time,
I know.
Because also I look at it like if she spills the water, I'm gonna teach her how to clean it up, right? And also like my wife will get so upset if she doesn't want to put her pajamas on, and like she'll almost like put her in the corner if she doesn't put on her pajamas. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way for this. Like, we got to make this fun or something, you know?
Yeah.
So
there's a way to flip it up.
Y'all got a good yin and yang going, cause
it's pretty good.
That's just tough. I've been in those situations.
No, it's rough.
I feel like I am very much like Mrs. Sounds, cause I get caught up and then I check myself afterwards, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I get tired of hearing myself. By the end of the day, I'm like, shut the fuck up already. No, don't do that. You know.
Yeah.
How's the?
So you don't want to suck the energy out of them.
I'll tell you one thing real quick, and this is weirdly related, but I was with Dave Chappelle. Well, Jay-Z told me never to name drop, but anyway, I was with Dave Chappelle, and he's we're at some club.
Time out. You just dropped 2 names, and you.
I know.
You missed that one joke. You missed the one joke. You missed the joke.
But so we're in this club, and we're in Denver. It's like a bar, little club thing. It's Wu-Tang Wednesday, and it closes at 2. And we're in there till like 5 o'clock in the morning. And at 1, like everyone's drunk, and it looks like this. You know, it's like, I don't drink, so I'm just standing there, like, waiting for everyone to be done. And I'm like, Dave, we got to go. And he's like, nah, not yet. He's like, think about it. This is annoying to us because everybody wants to take pictures and talk to him and all that. He goes, this is annoying to us, but this is a night of their lives, you know? And I was like, damn, to look at it from their angle, they're going to tell that story forever. Yo, we were in this bar. We happened to stay late. We hung out with Dave Chappelle till 5 in the morning. Dave Chappelle hangs out till 5 in the morning every night. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to have that story. And then I try to apply that to, like, my daughter. Like, sometimes she's doing something annoying. Like, she likes to go in my sock drawer and throw all my socks out. And I'm looking at all the socks on the floor, and I'm like, oh, this looks nasty. And I'm like, but she's smiling and laughing and having a ball because she doesn't even know what a sock is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, like, not really. Like, she doesn't know what a mess is. She doesn't know what a sock is. She doesn't know what an apartment is. You know, it's just like, it's fun to see all these white socks fly. And I'm like, it's going to take me 2 seconds to clean it up when she's done. You know? And I try to use that angle with the stuff she does.
So from an adult perspective, we're thinking, oh, fuck, I got to clean up these socks. And she's thinking, this is the best thing in the world. What, you know, what are these cool things flying out of this drawer?
Shit, you could apply that to everything in life. And probably the world would be a better place.
Well, that's because the thing is, when those socks hit the ground, it just adds to our to-do list. And our to-do list is already way over-flooded. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, now I got to clean up these socks. And it's like, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Fuck, Siph. Shit.
Yeah.
Really quick though, how's your daughter dealing with the newborn?
It was rough at first. Like, you definitely, like, we really try to make a point of, like, making sure we show her attention when my wife is dealing with my son. But she gets a little jealous, but, you know, we read a lot, look at little articles and blogs and books, and, you know, we try to use some of the tactics. Some of them work, some of them don't, by, like, including them, or, like, what should your brother wear today, and having her pick out the clothes. Or somebody told me a big trick was have your older child bring a gift to the hospital. So, like, they walk in with a gift greeting their new sibling. So that's one of the things I did, and that worked a lot. Like, that toy is every time she sees that toy, she remembers she picked it out and she brought it to her new little brother, and it's in his crib. So she's like, and she's part of it, you know.
Right. Interesting.
But yeah, there's definitely some jealousy. Like she starts crying over nothing, and well, you know, I guess that just happens.
Is your daughter like Kay's son, where she may have dropped the diapers at the 5-month mark, or is she still using diapers?
No, 5 months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We started potty training at 5 months with my son.
Out of control.
5 months?
Yes, sir.
Yo, right?
How did
The Dalai Lama of potty training.
My son is 6 months. He doesn't even. I couldn't even. How would you train him?
No, you it's like sign language, hand language, and then
And
you put
teaching
him,
sign
you put him on a little potty, and you know.
That's in
start to
between the calculus class and the physics class.
Oh, you mean like a little plastic one?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, see, no, I couldn't do that because I can't clean up piss and shit, yo.
That grosses you out?
That's why I don't believe in having a dog. Like, I can't do it. Yo, let me tell you something.
So you don't do the diapers then, right?
I am an expert at avoiding the diaper change. Yo. I'm ninja status, yo. Ninja status.
Come on, take us through an example. I want to hear a real use case.
He's in the bathroom every time.
For my daughter, I could say I probably changed her diaper 20 times, and I haven't changed my son's diaper yet in 6 months. Not yet. Like if I could tell it's time, or gonna need a diaper change, or it's like time to leave, I'll volunteer to do all the other stuff. Like, come on, Sade, time to get dressed. You got to brush your teeth, and I start doing all the daughter stuff, so that my wife handles that. It's bad. I hope she doesn't listen to this. It's bad.
Oh, so it's not you trying to be slick. Like, you guys kind of negotiated, but you take the other work.
No.
Oh, you are being slick.
You said he's being slick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she knows. She knows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She knows, but like, yeah, I think she knows half the times, and the other times it looks.
It's just perfect timing.
Yeah, I'm impeccable.
That's awesome.
Oh man. So I have a question. It's not related to parenting, but I need to know, and I know you get this a lot. When are you coming back and doing your Juan Epstein podcast?
Oh, it's funny you asked that. There's a I don't know how this happened, but somehow me and Rosenberg got 3 different offers that came at us roughly the same time. And two of them are really good, and one of them looks like we're going to do it. So we're in negotiating process now. The lawyers have it, and it seems like Juan Ep is coming back. Juan Epstein podcast, the first hip-hop podcast ever. That's
major.
It's like, you know, the game was crowded for a while, right? Rest in peace, Combat Jack.
Yeah.
He took what we started and made it into a legendary piece of media, you know. And the thing always, the problem with Juan Up was always that it was like our third job. Yeah. Where someone like Combat Jack, it was his first job, like his only job, so they could put way more into it. Then Rap Radar was making a lot of noise. Then obviously Nori came into the game, and Nori's angle is completely different. Like, there's some.
Yeah, he just negated me altogether. Like, I'm not a part of that story.
Who is it? Sorry, E. Nori and EFN. But like, yo, what I'm saying is, like,
I'm gonna go back in time and take away Drink Champs.
No, don't ever. Yo, Ed McMahon, that shit, yo. Live a good life.
Nah, for sure.
And right now, your fatherhood is your star search. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
But no, like, we had some of the same guests that y'all had.
Right.
And you get completely different stories.
Yeah, because that's Nori's relationship as an artist.
I know. And then the thing what I noticed is that all this stuff happened and it made us fall back a little bit. I mean, not a little bit. We stopped doing it.
Right.
And then now I'm realizing, like, our angle is still not touched. That nerd, that rap nerd angle, you know? Right. Even the only person really doing it is Questlove.
Right.
But his is a podcast, but, you know, it's on Pandora, so it's like you have to
be on Pandora.
Get it on Pandora. And the thing about him is that he there was a bit of nerd, like ours was, I would say 75% nerd, 25% funny. Questlove's is 99% nerd. Like they like Fonte's on there and they talk about like who the engineer was and what like EQ he was using, you know? Which I appreciate, but I just noticed like there's the Juan Epstein flavor is missing, so yeah, we're looking like we're gonna bring it back.
Hey, I appreciate you dropping that exclusively on here because that's exactly what we're gonna say, even if it's not true.
Right?
Yeah, no.
You heard it here first.
On the Star Search.
On Star Search.
Star Search. Star Search.
The Star Search of hip hop.
Oh man.
Hey, Cipha, I know you gotta go soon, but since we're plugging, go ahead and plug what else you got going on.
You know, I got a show on True TV right now. It's called Laugh Mob Laugh Tracks comedy show. It's very funny. Takes stand-up comedy and then does these recreation videos. So it's like almost like a music video for a joke instead of a song. That's doing real well. I got another show on the Fuse Network that I'm working on, which is called What's Your Thing, where I interview artists about like their kind of like their secret obsessions or their hobbies or passions. So like, you know, I had Diggy Simmons on one of the first episodes, and he loves like going thrift shopping. Where I get extensively detail into like how they go about finding these vintage clothes and all the stuff. So that's real fun. And then just living, you know, every night stand up. Like, I'm about to go do it right now. Like,
nice. Oh. And when's baby number 3?
No, number 3. It was a fight to go number 2. So you know what? You know it's funny though. You know what I want to do? I want to adopt.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's something I've considered.
I always wanted to do that, and I was figured once my kids are like of age to like
accept,
you know,
that
not
child.
be that. Yeah, and also like when they're in school where they're not like, I don't have to watch them as much. I want to like adopt. So that'll be, and there's no age limit for that. Like,
what age range you want to adopt? Like a baby, or are you looking at different?
Well, the thing is, not like once they get like one, the percentage of them getting adopted goes down drastically. And the reason for that is because most people who adopt can't have kids, so they want a baby. You know, and then so I was talking to this lady who adopts a lot of kids, but she adopts. I would do this charity organization I work with. She only adopts kids who have like drug addicted parents or HIV or disabilities. Like she has 13 kids, all of them either are HIV positive or have crazy disabilities. I'm like, this woman is an angel, yo.
That's Mother Teresa incarnated.
For real. But she was telling me that if you adopt a kid like past between like 4 and 5, they won't love you like a parent. They'll love you like a person, and they'll love you. You know, they obviously take care of them, and they'll have a bond with you. But there's something about that age that if you don't show them that love within those first 3 years, it never happens. I forget what she called it. There's a term for it, but you're basically doing an amazing service, and you're helping give a child a home, but they won't ever love you like you're their, like they're your parent, they're your child. Right. So I was thinking, like, you know, keep it 1 year old, 2 years old, and figure out from there, you know.
Yo, that's deep. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a whole. She told me all the stuff I've read about it. It was like that's why there's so like kids who are adopted are like have a different outlook on certain things.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn, that's big.
All right, so we'll see. Yeah.
So I
but
guess
that's
my
that's
idea
something I
of
wanna do, like-
adopting a 32-year-old man with his own job.
no, you can. You can. He just
who could contribute to the household income.
Yeah. No, she was saying they won't love you like you're their parent, but it's still an amazing thing. But like, yeah, if you want to get like a 19-year-old to, basically, take you to the airport and go pick up snacks, it's perfect.
Right.
Well, we know friends. We have friends that I don't know if we want to say names, but I said, but that adopted older kids and didn't seem to work out. Seems a little difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine so, man.
Yeah, that's a tough road on the older too. Can be, I guess. And on that note,
Hey, but yo, listen, man, I really appreciate being on here. I don't talk about this stuff ever, so
Thank you
this
for
is really
sharing.
dope, man. It's a great concept for a podcast. I think it's gonna blow up. And this time you won't get left in the dust, E. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm an owner, brother. I'm an owner. I'm not being left in the dust. I'm a goddamn owner.
All right, Cipha, man. Thank you very
Cool.
much.
appreciate it, Cipha.
Man, thank you, man. Yeah, good luck.
All right.
When I adopt, I'll be on another one.
Yes.
All right, cool. You let
Bet.
us know. Thanks.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Later.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell.